Hi, I'm the App Man, and here is the app of the week. The app of the week for this week is called SimpleMind Plus. What SimpleMind Plus is an app that will allow you to create flowcharts. So when you open it up, the first thing you'll see is whatever flowchart you last had, which I've already got one on here. But we'll go to our mind maps. So if you click on where it says mind maps in the top left, it'll show you all the maps you have. So we'll start it out with a blank one. Now you can see that there's a menu across the top. The first one is to create a new mind map or duplicate one that's already there. There's the triangle, which is the navigation history, so it'll take you through if you have several of these already created and you've been through several of them, whether you're showing them in a class or you're creating them or whatever, it'll allow you to navigate back and forth through them so you can see where you've been. The two forward and back arrows that are grayed out are for going back and forth in the timeline. So let's say you created part of your mind map. This will allow you to undo or to redo whichever you did. Over here on the top right, you've got the trash can, so you can delete whatever you just did or whatever you have selected, which there's nothing selected at the moment. There's the plus sign, which allows you to create an element in the mind map. So we'll just call this president. Then there's the plus with the down arrow, which is to add a central theme. So if you want to add a theme to it, and this is something you have to pay for, the central theme is something I added. We'll just call this executive branch. Then your share button, so you can share the mind map. You can save it to the desktop. So if you have the mind map or the SimpleMind Plus app, if you have it on your PC or Mac computer, your desktop computer, then you can share that with them so you can work on it in your office or at home. You can link a Dropbox account if you've got one. You can send it via email, or you can print if you got it hooked to a printer, or you can save it to your photos as an image. Then the next one is your color palette, so you can change the different colors. It's set for bright colors. I can make it soft colors, pastel, golden, grayscale, contemporary grayscale, black and white, colors on black, spring levels, and aqua levels. We'll just stick it on bright for now. Then you see the three dots. These are your tools. There's the about and help, so you can see about this and any help that may be there. So if you scroll up, it'll tell you editing a topic text, double tap a topic to activate the text editor. You bring up the keyboard. Deleting topics or crosslinks, moving topics, changing parent, child relations, collapse, expand topics, topic toolbar. So it just gives you some ideas, some things. Click on done, go back up here, send feedback. So if there's any kind of feedback you want, maybe you want it to do more than what it does, then you can send them feedback and say, hey, I'd like this to do that. And they'll look at it and maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. But enough people recommended something, they might do it. Style options. So style options, you got the central theme, which is changing the font. and it'll be just based on whatever font you have on your iPad at the time. Then there's the main branch, and again, this changes the font. So the central theme, that's this one here where it says executive branch. So that's the type of the font that is used is a little bit different than the one used where it says president, which is the main branch, and then sub branch. Then you can show shadows if you want to show shadows, and you can auto number inside or below. And it says note, a mind map exported as PDF may not show correct if selected fonts are not available on the device during the PDF. So again, if you choose a font other than the standard ones, then it's dependent upon whether that font's on whatever computer you're using. Okay. So to create, again, just press the plus button, and then it brings up the box where you can put in the name. So under the executive branch, that's where the president would be. We'll just delete this one. So I selected it, hit delete the trash can. Okay, so now we've got the executive branch. Now see, you can move this around so you can line them up the way you want. Now, if you click on it, you see the three little dots in the top of the object. That creates this other menu. So here's a cut. So I just delete it. Now I can go back and undo it by clicking on the arrow, the back arrow here. This is a copy, is the next one. This would be paste. This is a create a note. Now this is good to having notes because then you can say something about it. For instance, executive branch. If you want to define what that may be, then you could put that in here. It's the branch of government that executes justice. That's not the real definition. I'm just putting it there. Okay, so now then you see there's a little yellow dot. That implies there's a note. The check mark will allow you to put any of these things, these little icons, with it. And you've got quite a few: tick, dismiss, to do, clock, question, exclamation, information, warning, error, create, favorite, green flag, yellow flag, red flag, key, lock, plus, minus, arrow up, arrow down, left, right, person, male, female, person group, thumbs up, thumbs down, numbers 1 through 9. So we'll just stick a number on it. So now you see there's a number right there at the front of the word. Again, there's the color palette, so you can change the color, or you can restore it to the default colors. We'll just choose purple, might as well. Then you see this one, which is a link. So you can link this to a different mind map or to a specific mind map. And then the next link one, you can link a website to this. So for instance, for the executive branch, if we wanted to link it to, say, the White House's website, to give an example of that, or to a Wikipedia if you wanted to use, although I'd recommend not using Wikipedia, but say some kind of encyclopedia that's online that has information about the executive branch, you could link it to it. Maybe to the justice system or whichever. And then you can clear the link if you want to clear the link. Then you see this little icon here. Select the topic you wish to cross-link to the selected topic. So if you want to cross-link this to another topic, which we don't have, then you could do that. And then the final one allows you to create, but again, we don't have but one. So if you want to branch it off into more than one branch, you just click another, and you can put whatever here. Although there is nothing under the executive branch that would go there, that'd go under the president. So you'd have vice president, you'd have chief of staff, okay, but there is two other branches of government. So you can create, so now when we did the add theme, we can add sibling topic, insert topic, add central theme, paste as central theme. So if we add a sibling topic, it puts it down here next to where we were at. But let's say we want to add another central theme, because again, this is a whole nother branch, and we'll call this the judicial branch. And this would be Supreme Court. And then you could put down lower court, whatever court you want to put on there. There's several. And you can go on further down if you want to. And then, of course, there is a third group to our branches of government. Oops. Which is called the legislative. Legislative branch, which again has different branches. We'll call it the Senate. And the House of Representatives. Now, if you wanted, you could list all the different states that have senators, all the House representatives from the different states and or territories. So as you can see, this creates different levels of flowcharts, but if you're creating some kind of hierarchical thing to show different jobs, for instance, if you look at the one I had before under producer, this shows you in theater a typical flowchart of the hierarchy of the employees. So it goes from producer, the people who either provide the money or go out and solicit money for the productions. Then you have the artistic director on one side who handles the artistic side of things, hiring the directors for each show, the production managers, technical directors, all those, designers, all that. And then the managing director, which handles the business side, box office, office, and house publicity, that kind of stuff. So as you can see, as you go down each one, there's more and more to it. Now this isn't all the jobs in possible jobs in a theater, but this is an example of a flowchart. Now the cool thing about this is if I've got my iPad connected to the projector, then I can show this in class and say, look, this is a typical flowchart. But in some theaters, you don't have an artistic director and a managing director. So what happens is, and you can take all of these and move them under the other thing. So now you've got all these and you just rearrange them so it looks pretty. Or I can move it back over here so that, again, you can see that in some cases this may be the typical flowchart, but it's not the only way it can be. There can be different. For instance, maybe they're all under the artistic director. So now our flowchart looks more like this as opposed to the way it was. So to move from one of these items to under another one to detach it to from the one to the other, you just select the one you want. When it turns blue like that, then you know it's set, and then it's just a matter of how you want to arrange it. So if you want to rearrange the way it looks, you just move them individually. Okay, and that is basically mind maps and how it works.